I think most people would say that following the financial crisis that we've had, that changes were needed in corporate governance. And I think what parliamentarians really want to hear, and as part of this Appcgg, we're speaking to the people who are there in business, who are making some of those changes, who are making key decisions, and therefore we can ask them the appropriate questions, we can scrutinise it, we can actually have an honest and frank discussion about what is really important and how things need to change. And we can feel that we can influence that in some way by being part of those open and frank debates.
I very much think that Parliament does benefit. I think it's very important to realise that we as legislators, whatever our backgrounds are, and my background was in the city, that we need to keep up to date with what's going on outside of Westminster. And so groups like this are very important in pulling together the different people.
We, the parliamentarians, first of all, get a better understanding of what those concerned with corporate governance need and want to prosper, and they get an opportunity to reply to us.
A group such as the All-Party Parliamentary Corporate Governance Group provides an opportunity for real-life experiences to be able to be made accessible to the lawmakers, the people that guide legislation, so that actually when they're thinking about how best to frame legislation, it is framed in such a way that allows an element of pragmatism to also work.
We come to a better understanding of what they need and require, and I hope they have a better understanding of our needs, which are not just wholly for their sake. We have responsibilities to the wider community here in Britain.
I think initially my civil servants were a little bit doubtful about whether it was safe to let the minister be grilled by this sort of group. But actually that was the strength of it. You were being asked questions in a friendly but challenging way by people who knew what they were talking about and could hear what each other was saying as well. These are the areas when you hear the debates on the floor of the House where actually Parliament is quite well informed, and it's because of the confidential nature but very open nature of the debates that take place in an all-party group which engages people from a sector of business and industry in the way that this group does.
If there is a group of, I don't know, 40, 50 people in both houses who have this information, who have taken part in these discussions, have come to their own conclusions, then that makes for a better informed debate.
When we were in an upturn economy and everything was going very well, the assumption was that all companies were well run. Life has changed. There have been some mishaps along the way, and also we're in a downturn. So I think companies not only have to do the right thing, but they have to be seen to do the right thing, and therefore being held to account by different parts of society is really important. And I think this focus on governance in the widest sense, in other words, not just what companies do, but how they do it, is really important. And I think that's an aspect that this all-parliamentary group brings to account.
There is a need for an interplay between legislation in its formation and between business, and I think that this group does provide a bridge between the two.
There's always the danger of a knee-jerk reaction to any problem. I mean, the banking crisis being one in point. And unless you get people saying, hold on, if you do that, do you realise it will also have the effect of doing this? People can, in all good faith, legislate for something and then find themselves with a problem they hadn't realised would crop up.
I think the quality of the people that are coming to talk to us, academics from Yale, ministers, major investors, people who produced reports on issues which are at the heart of governance, is evidence of the fact that there's a broad community out there that realises that the all-party corporate governance group is terribly important.
The events that the group holds, generally breakfasts, lunches, dinners, talks generally, are absolutely essential, I think, for parliamentarians, people like myself, in our attempt to learn about what's really going on. I've learnt a great deal in the last 2 years in my involvement in the group. I've met many people across a range of industries, the fund management industry, oil and gas, mining, all sorts of interest groups, all sorts of enterprises which make up the business life of this country. And I think it's absolutely essential that politicians like myself, MPs and peers who are involved in creating laws, understand some of these issues.